August 13th, 2017. I'm going to show you some photos, and the first section of photos is going to be what I call the sun in the clouds. Um, these photos prove that what we look at now as the sun is in 93 million miles away. It's right here in the lower atmosphere. We do have two atmospheres. If you look beyond the low-lying clouds now, you can see it. It's this gray, hazy look. Sometimes it looks blue, but if you look at the horizon, you'll see the haze. That is not our true blue sky. That's what these photos show. Then the next set of photos are photos I got yesterday, and I'm doing this talk before I go out and take photos, so I might have some new ones on here for you from today. Really what I want to talk today about, I'm going to show you these photos, and the next set of photos after the sun in the clouds will be mostly of the lensing system of the sun simulator, or there's something that ties all this together, from the New World Order to the sun simulator to what people may think the simulated reality is. I'm finding it's not a simulated reality. It's an altered reality, but everything still exists. The Earth still exists. We still exist. Things are just changing. What it is, I think, at times, little pieces of maybe another dimension, maybe bleeding into ours, and it's what's altering what we perceive. Things are definitely changing. This is where this really comes in. We have a lot more waves and microwaves and stuff like that, with Wi-Fi and 4G and the testing of 5G. The 5G is it's a 1 millimeter wave. It's so bad for our health. And this is what this is really boiling down to. A lot has to do with the chemtrails, and it makes the atmosphere more conductive. It makes us more conductive because we're breathing in all these metals and different salts and nanoparticles and stuff like that. Whatever they're putting in these chemtrails, which we do know they're these bio nanoparticles, barium, strontium, aluminum, sulfuric acid. These are the big ones. It seems that they're breaking down our DNA. We got genetically modified foods that are changing our DNA. I noticed even like besides my trees, like all the leaves, the tips of the leaves are all burnt to a crisp. I noticed people usually don't get flus and stuff like that in the summertime. People are getting a flu and have colds. The colony insects, like even like basic ants and honeybees, you don't see them as much. I'm finding more of the predatorial insects, especially being here in southeast Texas. We got a lot of freaky looking bugs, man. And I'll even put a couple of pictures of the Texas stink bug. But yeah, you're finding more of these bigger insects and not the smaller ones. I haven't seen a honeybee yet this year, but I've seen a lot of wasps, and we have we got the mud hornets. They're black, and then we got these we call them fire wasps, and they're bright red, and then you got your regular wasp, and then the yellow jacket wasp, and Yellow jackets and the red wasps seem to be the ones you see the most of, and they're extremely aggressive here. But what I'm finding is where before, like the yellow jackets and the red wasps, they would fight for territory, or if one got near another's nest, they would attack it. And I'm finding that these two wasps are sharing nests. You know, it tripped me out when I seen that. I got stung. There was one growing or starting at underneath my carport. And I bumped the post with my car door, and a couple bees came down and stung me. Two of them were red wasps, and the other one was a yellow jacket. So I looked at it, the nest, and I seen they were mixed. It was crazy. So maybe their time's up, and this is their way of surviving. I don't know. It's just never seen that before. But besides insects, this 5G is is what's going to change everything for us. Once this is active, this fifth generation of technology, once this is activated, this is when we're going to see everything change. And when everything's in place and everything's changing, and they got us where they want us, they're going to usher in the cashless society. And this cashless society is their celebration. They're being pushed a little bit faster now on the cashless society thing because of Bitcoin. It's doing really, really good. And if they don't jump on it soon, the Bitcoin's going to take over and they're going to lose their opportunity. But they need the 5G system in place in order for it to work. But once this 5G system is in place, this is where everything changes for us. No longer will you be able to do whatever you want to do in your own home. Everything you do is going to be under constant surveillance, because this is what this 5G system can do. It's already pretty much there. If you're running any software over Windows 7, and 8, it's all a surveillance system to monitor you what you're doing. And they got to make this these AI D-Wave computers. This is pretty much what's running everything right now. I think the IA, the quantum computer, is pretty much over 50% in control over everything right now. When this 5G system takes hold, it'll the AI, the quantum computers, are pretty much going to be running the show, And this is the NWO. A long time ago, I told my friend, we were talking about what the NWO was and how it would come about. Would it be martial law and the collapse of America? And I find things happen subtly. They don't happen like a revolution and a war, and I mean, unless it's pre-planned. You just don't see that. So things happen subtly, but nowadays it's not so subtle anymore, but it's still subtle. I told him the NWO was the internet, and he laughed at me. He said no, and I couldn't really explain it at the time. Now I can a little bit better, but I knew that that's where everybody tied together. It was the World Web, That's how the whole world could unite, pretty much. The governments could control the whole population in a way they wanted to under one web. So that's why I always looked at it as the New World Order. But yeah, this 5G system, how it ties into the Sun Simulator. I had a subscriber kind of help me out with this too, or a viewer. This scalar technology, and this is the trip. Is I told you when I looked at the sun simulator, I seen all technology, and it was all Tesla technology. I couldn't put exactly, there are certain things like the orbiting generator and stuff like that that I could see, and the projection thing was all Tesla's technology, and I knew that there was a Tesla coil involved, and but this scalar wave technology was one of another one of Tesla's things. So here you go. I mean, and this stuff is bad. This is what the 5G really is based off of, and you need to research that. There's a ton of good videos out there and good information out there that can do better than I can on explaining it. But yeah, this is where it all ties in, and these nano craft or whatever, these unknown craft that we see coming to and from. I know most of my subscribers have channels, and they're doing what I'm doing, and they're getting this in their photographs, and I'm getting emails, about people asking about this craft, saying that they see it all the time, but they're so fast they can't. By the time you point it out, it's already gone, and or you try to get a camera, But my best suggestion is, if you want to see this craft, get you a decent camera first off, and either at sunset or sunrise, either one, between I say 10 degrees above the horizon to 30 degrees above the horizon. Point your camera at the sun, but put the sun off to the side a little bit. And if you're using like a cell phone and you got a focus where usually if you got a decent cell phone, you can tap your screen and focus that area you just tap next to the sun, and then start videoing. What it does is it don't focus so much on the bright light of the sun, and sometimes it'll darken too, just enough. See, if you tap on the sun, it'll darken it real dark, and that's actually how you can filter out some of the light to see the simulator at times, or the lensing system at least. But yeah, you tap next to the sun, and you'll be able to see everything around the sun, and they usually come and go in like a swarm. It can easily be mistaken for like insects maybe flying in the sky, but if you get a good look at it, you'll see that it's not. They have a certain way they fly, and very mechanical. That's my best suggestion is, I do it at sunset. That's when I get it the best, so that's how I'm able to see these crafts. And getting them on video is easier than getting a picture of one, but the picture does a lot more justice. But I'll throw some of them pictures in there if I already haven't, and I just really wanted to talk to you about this. There is a way you can help yourself. You being maybe in broke down by these chemtrails and all these waves. With the wave, with the 5G wave or the scalar wave, you need magnetic pulses or just magnetism around you, and things that can absorb it. Different stones and crystals can absorb it. The chemtrails, the best way to flush out metals out of your body is apple cider vinegar. Really does the best. Got to be careful with it if you drink too much of it, because all the impurities and GMOs and everything in your body, once you start drinking it, it wants to flush that stuff out. So you can make yourself kind of sick. So you got to be careful. Maybe like an ounce once a week, maybe an ounce every other week. I do about 4 ounces a month. It seems to help. It gets impurities out, but you also got to eat right too. It'll flush the GMOs out too. And there's other things you can do to protect yourself. You just got to really, look online and stuff like that. But I think we're going to be getting hit with this 5G pretty soon, and it's devastating to our DNA and our just our bodies and our cells. It's going to break it down. Chemtrails are getting heavier. You just gotta eat right and try to keep these things out of your body. Another good thing, good way if you're outside a lot, keeping a strong magnet. Maybe sew it on the inside of a jacket or a hoodie, or stick it in your pocket or something. It collects more of the metals, I guess. But with the scalar waves, the best way is finding rocks that can absorb it. And the other thing is probably asking God for the full armor. That's probably the best way to really combat all this. So as far as the eclipse, I'm gonna take off a little early off of work so I can get it. I'm thinking about maybe attempting to do a live stream. I'm not 100% sure because of all the different cameras I use. I don't know how feasible it would be. But I am going to shoot some videos, some pictures. I'll post it probably that day. But I'll do it maybe a couple hours after the eclipse and everything. So look forward to that. So y'all have a good week. Take care.